In this video, I'm going to go through a price list live right in front of you guys. And I'm going to see what's profitable to resell on Amazon. I'm going to do that in real time. Now, I've never seen this list before. It's from one of our Telegram group members. He offered it to us, but I'm going to try to come up with an order and a projection in terms of the profit and the revenue that this order will make. I don't know these figures yet. I'm just going to get started on it now, but whatever they are, I'm going to post it in the title of this video. So we're going to see how we're going to get to that part, how we're going to get to a X dollar order and X amount of profit. So if you don't know who I am, my name's George. I'm the remote seller. I live in Australia, but I sell in the US. I've never actually even been to the US as of now, but I'm going to be going soon. So I do that all from the comfort of my own home here in Sydney. I've been selling in the US for around 7 years. I've done a bit over $5.5 million in that time. So let's jump into this video. So let me just minimize myself and tuck myself away because... All right. Okay, so we're going to be using Astro Advanced Analytics for this research. Now, I'm just going to call this supplier list live product research video number 13, and this is the price list we're going over. So there are quite a few UPCs in here, so 23,000. I'm seeing a lot of grocery type of products, so heaps of grocery stuff. Now I'm just looking at this list again. So we have the UPC, we have a SKU, we have a brand name, item description, category name. All right, so I'm going to use these for the upload. Now we're going to use the UPC to find the product. Now when it comes to pricing, we might also put the pack size as well in the analysis, so we know we can confirm the size but actually I don't think it's needed because the pack size is in a lot of the descriptions as well. So we probably don't need the pack size. Now, just going over, okay, so we have the current price and we have a promo unit price. So I'm seeing that a lot of products don't have a promo or unit price for a lot of these. So we're gonna have to fix that. So anywhere where there's no promo price, we have to use the current price. So let's go ahead and copy that over. So yeah, it looks like there are very few products with a promo. So the majority of the products don't have a promo. So let's see the last product with a promo. And because we're going to use this column here as our price, we want to paste that in there as well. So we're going to use this column here for our cost price. All right, let's go ahead and save this. And let's go and upload this into a list. So the category would be groceries. Save this. And where's that video number 13? Okay, so we're adding this bulk upload. We're going to use the UPC. I'm going to throw that in there. All right, great. So we have the UPC. The price is the promo price per unit. Item number is the SKU. Description would be the item description. Let's also throw in the brand name, just in case, just to help us, ensure that the products are correct. And we'll just do the pack size, whatever the pack size is over here. Just might help us. Pack size. All right, let's go ahead and import. Now I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to come back when it's done uploading. Okay, so this list is up. Now, one of the first things I want to show you is the difference between a historically profitable product and a historically unprofitable product. So there are products a lot of times which show profit, but you'll look deeper at them and you'll see that they have not been profitable historically. So the break-even column, this one here, signifies that. So the number that you see behind the break even, so this one here, $30.54, that's the actual break even. Now the color behind that shows you if the product's been historically profitable or not. So let's look at this one, for example. We'll click on the chart, and with one quick look, you can understand that the product has not been historically profitable. So the break even line, the yellow with the black line in between, you see that's the break even. And the chart, the buy box price has been way below the break-even line. So that, with just a simple filter, you can remove all those that have a historically unprofitable. So this one here, though, is dark green. And if we were to click on it, we'll see that it's the opposite. The break-even line is all the way down here at $14. and the buy box is way up there at $35. Now, granted, this is a four pack, and it's not being considered a 4-pack, so we want to type in the number 4 there. So all of a sudden, this has become a $28 product, and it is also unprofitable. But just looking at the actual example, we'll just bring up the chart, and we'll see now it's unprofitable. So the break even is all the way up at $40.42, and the buy box is below that. So it's an unprofitable product. So that's one of the important things. So we're going to start filtering when we're going to filter out all the ones that are historically unprofitable. Now, this list is a big one, 9,300 products. So we'll probably find some products that have, historic profitability. I see some over here. This one, for example, Philos, Peruvian quinoa, whatever it is. So we're going to look at some of these products. All right, great. Now, the first thing I actually want to do before I start analyzing these is I want to remove all the products where the brand is a seller and they're the only seller. So they're not, there's times where the brand is a seller, but there are another 5 or 6 other sellers. So they're okay. But we want to remove every time that there's a brand a seller and they're the only seller. So what we're going to do is we're going to start filtering, and we want to say, we're not just going to remove, we're going to actually delete them from the list. So we're going to say brand is a seller. We want that to be true. And then when it comes to the amount of sellers, we want there to be less than 1 FBA seller. Less than 2 FBA sellers. So there's only 1 FBA offer. So the offers, actually, I could just say equals 1. And we're just going to apply this. And we're going to see how many products the brand is an actual seller. So all these 577 products, the brand is a seller and they're the only seller. So just look at some examples. Here we go, Nutrix Hawaii. We'll just bring up the quick view where you have everything in the one view. So here you see the brand is Nutrix Hawaii, and over here you see Nutrix Hawaii is selling the product. They're the only FBA seller. They've won 62% of the buy box in the last 30 days. 89% in the last 90 days. We want to delete all these ones where the brand is actually a seller. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Click on all these, and we're going to delete all the ones that are filtered at the moment. So we're going to remove these. So these 577 ASINs where the brand is the only FBA seller, they're gone. So they're gone from our analysis. That way now we can actually start considering products where there's only 1 FBA seller. Okay, let's go ahead and start filtering. So I'm going to apply that. So we removed all those products. Now we have 8,721 products. So let's firstly just go for products and see ones that have a profit. So I'm just going to type in profit over here and bring in all the ones with a profit. And let's just go low, at least $1.50 is okay. $1.50 in profit. Okay, let's apply those filters and see how many we're left with. So from 8,700, we did $1.50 and we have 590. So less than 10% of the products have more than $1.50 in profit. Okay, so it's a good thing to see the profitable ones, but these are currently profitable. We also want to know what's historically profitable, because it's a very important factor in making a decision. Historic profitability, and by having to go through them each one by one and check out their charts is going to take forever. So Astro has a solution for this. If you look at the break-even column, you see a color. So the number in the break-even column, that's your break-even. So this one the break-even is $9.38. This one's $8.16. Now that's all good, but the color behind the break-even is the break-even strength score. So if it has a low break-even strength score, it means historically it has not been profitable. If it has this one's dark green over here, that means historically it has been profitable. So if you check out the difference between the two, let's go to this one where it's $9.38. And you see, even though Amazon's on the listing, even though the sales rank doesn't look too promising, you see the buy box is well above the break-even line. So it's always been profitable. Maybe just in this period here, it wasn't profitable. That's just a few days, but for the entire history of it, for the most part, it's been a strong and profitable product. Now let's look for a negative one. This one's negative, but it's fine. Let's see if we can find something that's red, like very negative. Here we go. There's a couple here. So these ones are all red. Even though they're currently profitable, historically they're quite unprofitable. And let's go ahead and see their charts. Okay, so you see that the break-even line is all the way up here at $11.26, and the buy box has been well below that. You know, sometimes it's $6, $7, so it's well below that. So historically, it's been quite unprofitable. So to remove all those with one click, you go to filters, you go to add one, and you go for the break-even strength score, and you go more than, and you give it a value. So more than average, for example, more than poor, whatever makes sense for you. So I'm going to just go more than average. So it's only going to consider excellent and good ones. So by filtering those out as well, from 590, we are at 446. So that's, you know, about 150 we don't have to look at. There are a lot of products where the brand is a seller. There's some meltables. There are some hazmat products. There are some products with IP issues. I want to remove all of those. So let's go ahead and continue filtering. So IP issues alerts. There are 3 levels of IP issues, high, medium, and low. Let's just see things that are below medium. So we only see low and no threat. So I'm going to say less than medium. That means low and no threat. Hazmat is either true or false. So is it hazmat true or false? We want to see products that are not hazmat. And the same thing goes for meltables. We want to see, it's summer months in America, not in Australia, but in America it's summer months. So we want to see products that are not meltable because we can't ship them to FBA, and apply those filters and see how many we're left with. 378, slowly starting to get smaller and smaller, and that's basically what we want. We only want to see the cream of the crop at the moment. That's the goal of this. Let's start looking into the profitability. So we have profit $1.50. Let's also select ROI, desirable ROI. So ROI, let's make it above 25%. It's really, like, I personally go more than 40%, but you know, some people, you know, think it's okay to go 25 and above. So let's apply that from 25, from 378, we're at 370, still not many. Remove from that. Let's now look at sales volume. So there are 2 ways to look at sales volume. Obviously, you know, there's a sales estimate or the bought in the past month if you want. So we can go for the bought in the last 30 days and say, hey, only show us products that have, you know, more than or equal to 100 sales. So that's cool. That's nice there. So we only see products that sell 100 units or more. But we can go a step further and also guarantee products that for us, you know, as sellers adding ourselves onto the listing, will guarantee us a certain amount of sales. So if for example, let's say, for example, we look at a product and it sells 100 units a month, okay? That's all right. If we're the only seller selling 100 units a month, great. But what if there are another 4 sellers on this listing? That means we'll become the 5th seller on the listing. So hypothetically, if they were going to divide the buy box rotation evenly, you know, 100 divided by 4 plus us 5, that's 20 for each person. So we can actually filter for that amount as well. It's the recommended 30-day buy. So we can say, hey, only show us products where we will get at least, let's say 40 sales per month, 50 sales per month. Choose a number. So I'm going to say 40 for this case. And I'm going to apply these filters and see how many we're left with. We're left with 67 products, okay? Looking good right now. Now, the only last thing I want to do is I want to remove all these ones where Amazon has been heavily in stock, 100% of the time on a lot of these. So I want to remove, you know, even this one here, 89%. So there's a lot of Amazon on a lot of these listings. You know, groceries tend to have that. So last filter I'm going to be doing at the moment, the way I see things, is removing Amazon in stock and saying, show us ASINs where Amazon's in stock. Like, oh, do that again. Amazon's in stock less than 50% of the time. And we're just going to hit enter now. So we're looking at 12 ASINs at the moment. So 12 good ASINs. Maybe we can increase this to, decrease that to 30, get a few more up in here. Still only 12. Still okay in my opinion. So I'm going to add these 12 to our shortlist, and we can start investigating these a bit more and choose some quantities we should be buying of each one. So I'm going to add these to a shortlist. I'm going to call the shortlist live product research. It's video number 13. So I'm going to create this shortlist. And by clicking plus again over here, we're adding these ASINs to that shortlist. So let's go ahead to the shortlists and start playing around with this and see what type of order we can come up with. Okay, the shortlist is pretty much the same as the previous view, but there are 2 main differences. You can start adding the quantity you want to buy of each one, and you can start creating an order out of this. So an order starts forming in the purchase summary. So this is how we're going to come up with our order at the moment. So looking at the first one, let's start actually doing proper analysis now. So I'm going to jump into this one and see what's up. So what do I see? First thing I see is that this is a brand new listing. We've only got up until April. The default status for Astro is to show you a year. You can go past that, of course, or you can zoom in. If it's only showing me up until April, that means it's only been active since April, or this period here. So what I see is Amazon has been winning the buy box 58% of the time, but they have been sharing with other sellers. So theoretically, we can probably price it around 11.34 or maybe a bit lower, and we can still win the buy box. They do have a bit of stock from what I see here. So we could potentially go up against Amazon in this scenario. They're at one buy box. They're the person that they're our buy box contender. The recommendation is to buy 250 based on their bought in the past month. But I'm just looking at the sales data. So it's a bit skewed now because it's a new listing, so the sales data isn't too solid. So even though the recommendation is to buy 250 here, I would definitely not buy 250 units. If it's a cheap product, which it is, $3.07, I'd probably buy maybe a max of 120 units on this. I just want to also confirm that it's the right product. So it's slate milk, protein coffee, mocha latte, and just look at the supplier's details. It seems like it's the right product. 11 ounces. There's a UPC match. The product seems to match. It seems fine. In terms of being the right product. So yeah, I would not buy more than 120 units. So if I was going to buy 120 units, we're looking at $109 worth of profit. So that's fine. So yeah, it's actually a decent product. Remove the fact that Amazon's been on the listing, but they haven't dominated the listing completely. Let me just zoom out for a second so you can also see the quantity. So I'm going to be buying 120 of these. And our order's starting to form up here at the top. So we see 120 units in this list, 368 so far. The prep was going to be $72. Prep plus goods, $440. And we're looking at $109 profit because it's got 43% ROI. Great. Let's continue adding on to this order. So the next ASIN. Okay, so built brownie patter. Okay, it's $8.93. It's probably for one unit, the way I see it. Only one image on this listing. Just looking at the details. So even spread of the buy box, you can start sorting here. So you can see this company here, this FBM seller, US Trade Ent. They've gotten 56% of the buy box, but you can definitely beat out an FBM seller in most scenarios. So this is all right. I'm just looking at the chart now. I see there's a bit of a gap between the buy box and the sales rank. Been quite a bit of, it seems okay in my opinion. So it's got a great break-even strength. Recommended buy is only 50 units. I would probably buy 50, maybe 60 units. I'm not too worried. I'll probably go for 60 units for a product like this. It's cheap again. ROI 79%. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, 60 units for me for this one. Go ahead and hit enter on that one. Next, Chomps Mini. I didn't check the previous one to make sure it was the right product. So Built Bar, I see the name is called Built, just checking it out there. Built Bar Brownie Batter, and Built Brownie Batter, 1.41 ounces. It seems like the right product. Okay, back to the next one. All right, so Chomps Mini Grass-Fed Beef Jerky Meat Snack Sticks count. Okay, Chomps Jerky Beef Italian. So I see the word Italian, okay, and I see the word Italian right there on the listing. So it seems to be the right product. It's a 6 count, 0.5 ounces. This is 3 ounces. Okay, no, 0.5. Okay, because it's 0.5 ounces times 6 count, so it's a 3 ounce beef, Italian beef. Fine. Seems okay. Let's go ahead and check out the quick view. So, all right, I want to zoom in on the chart for a second. So it does seem healthy. It's better now than it was for the last, whatever, that's like 6-8 months or so, this period here. It's been very close to the buy box in this whole period, and it seems like there is only one FBA seller during this whole period. it still seems okay. As long as this doesn't dip below the break-even line too often, that seems strong overall. It's the strength is excellent. Only 3 current sellers at the moment. $3.97 worth of profit at 55% ROI. The recommendation is to buy. That's a lot. It's a big recommendation to buy 500 units of this. So look, this is some of the scenarios where Amazon gives you incorrect data. So you got to be very careful with that, with a product like this. So yes, the boy in the last 30 days says 1,000, but the sales rank kind of indicates differently. So the 180-day average has been 166,000. That definitely doesn't translate to 1,000 units per month in sales. So the current sales rank is good. The seller rank is 35,000, which is very solid. But I wouldn't trust this data here, the sales rank data compared to the bought in the last 30 days, because sometimes Amazon gives you a very skewed indication of this. So I wouldn't trust it too much in a scenario like this. For a product like this, it's fairly cheap. I probably wouldn't buy more than 60, maximum 120 units. Test it. If I've tested it, for a month and they sold out instantly, like if it sells 1,000 units a month and I send in 60 units, those 60 units will probably sell out in like 3-4 days. If that is the case, yes, next time I'll buy this product again and I'll buy 1,000 units of it. I'll be fine. But given the fact that I'm looking at skewed sales rank data and skewed best bought in the last 30 days data, I'm not really trusting of this. I'll probably buy 90 units just to see how it goes. That will net me $357 worth of profit. Seems like a good product. So let's just go ahead and type in 90 here. Oh. So 90 right there. Next, Bellway Super Fiber, whatever. Just want to fiber collagen strawberry 6.6 ounces. Doesn't say 6.6 ounces there. Probably says it in the somewhere in the description, I'm guessing. 4 grams of fiber. Does the title say it? Doesn't really say it. How about here in the actual image? 6.6 ounces. Okay, so the size is right. Just want to check the UPC match. Yep, seems good. So this does seem like an okay product. Looking at the seller is selling the product, and there's only one other FBA seller. Given that the brand has 48% of the buy box in the last 30 days, and 73% in the last 90 days. I see that it might be a bit of a risky one because they're probably trying to kick off any other seller. Let's take a better look at the chart and see what's going on. So there has been times where so it's only either 2 or 1 seller. So that is a bit of a red flag if there's only 2 or 1 sellers, because it's probably them trying to kick off other sellers. So I will not go ahead with this one. It's a pass for me for this one. I'm pretty certain won't want you selling. So I'm just gonna say 0 for that one. All right, pick up pepper. 5 ounces, 5 ounces. Yep, seems like the right product. Okay, so there are FBM sellers at the moment. The spread's fine. I'm not worried about getting it. You'll probably get all these 300 sales. I'm worried about the chart at the moment because I see that as a drop in price. A recent one right there. And if it's an FBM seller, I'm okay with it. Let me just zoom in into this period over here. Okay, the price did jump back up, by the way. So this time here, it was $3.87 as an FBM seller. So we're not worried about that. There's probably shipping costs involved in that as well. So that's fine. I'm not worried about the price anymore. The break-even strength is excellent. 300 sales per month. Yeah, you probably get these for a product like this. I'd probably buy at least 180 of these. And it's a solid product. $561 worth of profit. Yeah, it's a solid product. So 180 for this one it is. So 180 right there. Next, it's the same product, but it's a 6-pack. Have we listed it as a 6-pack? It is a 6-pack. Okay, 6-pack. We increased the price for the prep to $1.50 as a 6. So it's the exact same product as the previous one, but it's sold as a 6-pack here, and it goes for $65.99. The recommendation is to buy 100. You're going up against all FBM sellers. You have to list it at $65. 60% ROI. Yep, not bad. I want to take a quick look at the chart because I see a dip over here below the break even, and it was an FBA seller as well. So that's something you got to be cautious of. So right there, right there, $46. So someone dropped the price to $46, even though it's been historically well above. It's been even up here. It's been up at almost $100. So this is the only part that this right here is what I would be kind of concerned with. It was a very small period. It was maybe like from here to here, probably like 3 weeks. And recent, it was just in May. So the price seems to have jumped up back above. The FBA seller has sold off. I wouldn't buy more than, if the recommendation is to buy 100, the way it is, I wouldn't buy more than 36 units of these. And that's still a heap in profit, so it looks okay. So I'm going to type in 36 here. And because this is a multi-pack, as you know, it's sold as a 6-pack, the supplier units will adjust accordingly. So there are 36 ASIN units added to this one, but there are 36 times 6 supply units, which brings the total up to that. The profit for this order so far is $1,900, and it's only a $3,300 order. So the actual goods only cost us just under $3,000, and goods with prep is $3,300. We're looking at 58% ROI. All right, let's keep going. Nature's answer. So I have a new rule for myself. Every time I see something with the word nature in front of it, I pretty much I go away. I ignore. I'm looking at this one as well. The brand is actually a seller. It didn't pick it up because there's an apostrophe over there. So this one here didn't have it. So it didn't pick it up. So I'm ignoring this listing. I don't care what the numbers look like, and they're not too good either. 27% ROI. It's not that special. And every time I go up against a brand with the name Nature, Nature's Answer, Nature's Solution, Nature's whatever, I find myself with a letter saying, cease and desist. So I'm going to avoid that one. Okay, YouWish 1899. Is YouWish the brand? No, it's just a solo FBM seller. Not too many FBM sellers on this one in general. Maybe it's hard to stock this. Let's confirm that it's the right product. Think Bar Mini Girl Scout. Okay, seems right. 7.34 ounces. Yep, seems like a good product. 200 sales per month. So I just want to compare this again with the seller rank. See, inconsistent, 173,000 seller rank, very high. It means very few sales. 200 bought in the past month. I don't like the data here. It doesn't seem encouraging at all. If we were to jump on a listing like this, we could probably buy even more units. So not buy more, price it even higher than the FBM seller. So you could potentially price it at $20.99, make it even more profitable. But I wouldn't buy too many units of a product like this. I think it's a bit risky. $4.56 is profit is good, but I wouldn't buy too many units of it. I'd probably buy a maximum of 24 units, just see how it goes. Worst case scenario, you drop the price, it sells off, you take a small loss. But best case scenario, it actually sells real well, regardless of the bestseller rank, it sells real well, and you just buy more the next month. Okay, this seems to be the same product as before, but it's the same product as before. Yeah, it's the same product as before. I would not, I don't know why it came up as a different listing, but yeah, I'll probably skip on this one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is None Active Strawberry Lemonade Drink, 3 tubes of 10 tabs. So it's a 3-pack. So it says 10 tabs as well. We get it as a 10 tab, but it's 3 tubes. So we have to put a 3 over here as a 3-pack and see it's definitely not profitable as a 3-pack. So yeah, it's $8.51 loss. So we're going to ignore that one. Next, what's this? This is a pack of 2 of whatever that is, Kowloon Blend or Kowloon Bend. So we have to change this number to a 2, and it's probably no longer profitable. Yep, minus $2 loss. And lastly, this one here, we've already listed it as a 2-pack. Let's see if it's right. Grace Caribbean Traditional Oxtail, Grace Seasoning Oxtail Caribbean, 5.3 ounces. Let's see. Yep, if you zoom in on that, you can see that it says 5.3 ounces right there, 5.43 ounces. I think our one says 5.3. I wouldn't call it a deal breaker. It's probably the same product. Maybe the supplier just didn't write the numbers correct. Yeah, only one FBA seller. No, not someone you need to worry about in terms of their selling. 100 sales per month, 50 recommended. I would probably buy 60 units of this. Should be fine. Okay, so this is our order so far. So we're roughly 20-25 minutes into this video. I'm not too sure. And we have a almost $3,500 order, $3,800 with the prep, $10,000 in revenue. All this is expected to sell off within a month and $2,151 worth of profit. Nice little order. Yep, go ahead and download this as a purchase order. And when it's ready, this is what it looks like. So this is the purchase order now, that what we just made. All the item numbers in here, the UPCs here, and the supplier description and the pricing is all here, ready to go. We just send this to our supplier and say, hey, this is what we want to order. And we're ready to hear back from them, see if the stuff's available, what we can buy, what we can actually send to Amazon. And then, once we confirm it, create the listings in your inventory, make sure it's fine before you actually actually send money. Make sure that you can actually list these products. You're allowed to list these products before you actually send any money to your supplier. First thing you want to do is see if they're available from your supplier. Or anyway, decent list. It's a bit of a hard one. From 23,000 products, we're left with, how many are we actually buying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ASINs that are worth buying. Luckily, it was done much faster with this. Instead of having to look at those 23,000 products one by one, with Astro Advanced Analytics, you can just go through them much faster. It's the scanner on steroids, but it also combines aspects to the normal plugins, the ones that you'd usually, use on, looking at the listings one by one, on Amazon. You can just do it from here and make much faster decisions and more accuracy. You don't get tired of having to look at 1,500 or 2,000 products. You're looking at all these products over here much faster. And, with these advanced filters, with the break-even strength filter and, filtering, the sellers out and doing, recommended sales and all these types of things, you get to a result much faster. So if you want to hear more from me, subscribe to my channel and you can watch me, make these orders and how to do it. If you're interested in Astro Advanced Analytics, there's a link to the software in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.